I told him, I said, I'm gonna write the letter. He said, ma'am, if you type the letter up and you send it to me, I have to send it to the church. So he submitted the letter to the church. And some days went by, no word, so I said, well, maybe they decided to go with the other bid. So about 3 days passed and the church contacted me and they wanted to do a conference call with me because they wanted to know some more about what I plan on doing with the building. And when I told them about the child care center and stuff, and they said, well, do you know how much money it's gonna cost to upfit this building into classrooms and kitchens and office and stuff? And I said, I can do it. They said, you sure? I said, I can do it. So I did the plan, I submitted it to the church, and they accepted the plan. Amen. So I opened that ABC store up into a child care center. So after I opened that ABC store up into a child care center, remember I had another daycare that I was being a director with my friend, and he was telling me he was about to lose the child care center. So he called me up and he said, you need to purchase the child care center. He said, because if you don't, I'm going to lose it. I said, okay. I said, how much are you selling this child care center for? He said, oh, I'm selling it for $1 million. Oh, really? I said, what bank is going to give me $1 million? Me, $1 million. He said, just go to your bank, try it. I think I waited a day or two, and I finally decided to go to my bank. And when I went to my bank, I told them what I wanted to do and stuff. And they said, okay. They said, we're going to give you a list of items that we need from you. And it was so much stuff. Every day it was emails, phone calls, meetings. It was just so much. So one day the bank called me in and they told me, I went to the office, I went to the bank, I'm all nervous and stuff. I said, I know I'm not gonna get this loan. And he said, Ms. Scott, we approve you for this loan for $1 million. I said, wow. And I went out thinking, thank you, God. Because I do this little things, thank you, God. So after that, during that time, I got a divorce from my first husband. Got a divorce. That's another story. So I got a divorce from my first husband. And the day before closing, the bank said, you know, the house you're in, because they was using my home as collateral. He said, the house you in, we know it's your house, but your husband's name is not on the loan, but it's still on the deed. And they said, your husband have not taken his name off yet. Called my husband up, he refused to take his name off the deed. Called my lawyer up. My lawyer said, well, we can bypass that, we can go to court and the judge would take his name off because it's your house, it's not his house. But she said it's gonna take some time. She said, because we have to, get into the court system and stuff, it's gonna take, you're looking at maybe 3 weeks, a month. Of course, the bank said they couldn't wait that long. So I lost the loan. I lost the loan, the $1 million loan, because he wouldn't take his name off the deed. So I took my 2 daughters out of town. I took CJ and Olivia, we went out of town. And as we was out of town, I received a voicemail from the bank and they was telling me, hey, Ms. Scott, I called your office, your workers told me you were out of town. I just wanted you to know that we're putting the daycare center up for sale. And when you get back in town, please give me a call. So when I got back in town, I gave him a call. He had to call me back, so he called me back and we were setting up times when people buyers can come by and see the building who wanted to purchase the daycare center. Just before he hung up, I said, well, tell me something. How much is the daycare going for? He said, you don't know? I said, no. He said, $530,000. Now remember, I was gonna buy this daycare for $1 million. So he told me $530,000. I said, $530,000? He said, yes. I said, I can buy it. He said, what? I said, I can buy it. I want to buy the daycare center.
Yeah.
But it was a catch. He said, the bank is only gonna give you 30 days to close on a loan. And it's nearly impossible to close on a loan in 30 days. And it was like, when he told me that, it was like on a Thursday. No, it was on a Friday. And I had 30 days after I signed the contract with him to close on that loan, unless the bank was just gonna take it and put it up for sale. So I had to do some work, a lot of work. My husband, my new husband, he's a praying man, so he was saying, it's gonna work out. I was saying, there's no way. There's no way it's gonna work out. 30 days is not enough time. He said it's gonna work out. Everything's gonna work out. Trust me. So we prayed about it. We kept praying about it and stuff. And we got approved. We closed on that loan in less than 30 days. 30 days. So right after we closed on that loan, I received a call from a church, and he said it was another daycare center. The owners was leaving because she lost a lot of kids, and she was only gonna be there for a week, and they need for me to step in and take over. I'm busy. I was saying I have my own centers. I just purchased 2 centers. I didn't know if I had the time. He said, Miss Scott, just come by and look at it with me. So we went by, we looked at the center and stuff, and first I told him no. He said, just try it. He said, I know you can do it, just try it. And the center at that time had 12 kids left. She left 12 kids at the center. So I agreed, and I took that daycare center over. And that's been like maybe 8 years ago, maybe 10. And we're still going. That center's still open, still have kids, teachers, and everything. So I used to go by the daycare centers and check on all my centers and stuff and see if the directors and the teachers are doing what they're supposed to be doing and stuff. And then one day I went by the daycare center and I realized that my directors and teachers didn't need me, because God had put the perfect people in place, the directors and the teachers that I can trust with the kids and stuff, and I didn't need to be there every day. So that's when I came home and I told my husband, I said, I'm gonna do an online boutique. And I'm gonna call it Ms.Transformed Clothing Boutique. He said, you're gonna do a what? An online boutique? He said, why don't you take this time to rest? I said, no, I don't wanna rest. He said, well, I'm gonna support you, but I really think you need to rest. But that's what I did. I opened up an online boutique. That is my story. So that's half of my story, but that is my story. So I'm no different than you guys.
Amen.
What I did, you can do too.
Amen.
But it's something I have. You have to have faith.
Amen.
And that's something no one can give you. It's something that's inside of you. It's something that you know deep down inside that God is going to support you.
Amen.
Okay? So as long as you have faith, and you're going to come to some doors that's going to close.
Yes, Lord.
When those doors close, keep going until you find the one that's open. As long as you have faith and keep going, and don't let anyone tell you what you can and cannot do, you'll be amazed. This world is, I know it's bad now, you may not can see it, but this world is a world that you can be anything you want to be.
Yes.
Anything you dream you could be. It's just hard work. Faith and hard work,
Yes.
it's amazing.
Amen.
So keep going.
Amen.
That's my story.
Amen.